Sandy Hoos, Unit 3. I agree with the management company. I do. And with some of the things that were set up here today. However, when there was the question about giving more time to put it out to the community, when we vote, our community votes on certain things and it goes out to the membership. We can't even get 50% of our membership to vote. So why do we worry about people that get emails? Let people that don't get emails know. And that's what they ask you to do. I just don't understand. I mean, the last vote we had, we didn't have over 1,000 people, much over 1,000 people to vote. And things passed with 700 votes. I just don't understand why it's such an issue now that everybody has to be notified of something that the board is going to do that's going to better our community. I'm speaking, thank you. I didn't interrupt you, thank you. I just feel that the board has the right to do what they're doing, that doesn't have to go to our membership. Give them a chance. Give it a chance. People got up and left because they got the answer they wanted to hear. It didn't pass. Well, yippee. It still might. If they bring a management company in here and speaks to everybody, people might understand more. I think everything was pretty clear in the paperwork that we got. And I think then, if a management comes in, we're not going to have people that go day in, day out to our office and ask for people to give them information so they can go again, come in and ask questions that nobody could answer on the spot. A management company will do all that, and they're going to put what you can know out on the website, and there will be no more questions. So I think that we need to understand more and give more credit to our board instead of arguing and being negative and being hateful sometimes and vindictive. I'm sorry, but it was time that somebody says the word hateful because it comes out sometimes. So that's my feeling. I just think that the asking the question to make sure everybody gets notification is because we're still only going to have the few people that are here every meeting here to ask questions. And they're usually the same questions over and over again. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Anyone else? You're next, Mike. Oh, okay.
Vivian Blair, Unit 4. I have a concern. Last Friday, Alan and I were at a commitment somewhere else, and the gate let Uber Eats in and notified us that he was coming. First of all, we did not order anything. There should not have been anybody coming to our house. My concern is if this person had got caught speeding, we get the ticket. And he didn't come to our house. How do we rectify something like that if we get a notification of someone we know nothing about? Do we notify somebody?
You go down to the office, to the code enforcement, and tell them you take that violation with you and tell them, no, that wasn't you, you didn't order anything, and they will take care of it for you, Vivian.
So the gate entrance mistake means I have to do the legwork and go down somewhere and say, these people don't belong here, why did you let them in under my name?
Did they leave anything at your house?
No. There was nothing in our house.
Nothing at your house.
And we have witnesses, we were not at home.
Right.
I'm just
so
concerned.
So tell you we're going someplace else, and they just picked your address, Vivian. I'm sure that must be it.
Or else whoever was at the gate put it under the wrong name. I have no idea. My concern is if this person got a ticket, I wouldn't be notified for another couple of days, and then it'd come in the mail, and I go, why? That's
Well,
my concern.
Yeah, and it's always, I think, 14 days. But even if you're gone away and you come back and you have it and it's not legitimate, they just take it off. They do.
Just, you know,
Okay.
I guess the gate people have to be a little more mindful about who they're admitting where.
Yeah. Thank you, Vivian.
Nancy Whetstone, Unit 4. I believe there might be a misconception, it might be mine or it might be others, but I believe the vote that was needed, the vote that you were trying to get to have the property management company come in was a vote to enable you to engage with them again and to have them come in. And then no, I'm just saying that's what the vote was for, to enable you to have them come in, like you said, have them come in, talk with everybody. Until you sign a contract, there is no deal. That is correct? Correct. All right, so the vote was enable them to come in, speak with the community, have the community give their opinions, their thoughts, and then from that information, you would then decide to sign a contract or not sign a contract. Correct? All right, that's what I thought. So the vote to have them come in is needed to have them come in. Correct. So now we can't hear from them because it was voted down, so we don't get to hear what people were asking to hear. Correct? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mike Garitano, Unit 2. Looks like I cleared the room pretty well. Anyways, as some of you know, I am the president of the Brookridge All-Stars Entertainment. And last night we had our December show. Before the room emptied, I recognized a lot of faces who were there last night. I just wanted to take, in this time of giving and giving thanks, I want to give our thanks as a committee to Mike and, of course, his great team. If you'll notice, there's a lot of chairs stacked up in the back there. So they our show ended at approximately 9:05 p.m. last night. They tore that completely down. They reset, and I knew this meeting was being held today, that the place would be packed. So they had to put extra chairs out. And Mike, I wanted to make sure that, again, during this time of giving thanks, that we thank your team for all the hard work they do, setting up for our shows, tearing it down the next day, and quickly setting up for this. Tonight there's a social gathering, I understand, and dance. So guess what? They're gonna have to do the room to get...
Bingo tonight. Bingo tonight.
Tuesday's bingo, Wednesday's the dance, excuse me. Anyways, and Thursday,
I got Dick show.
Brookridge Entertainment, I see Dick is here today. They'll have their show. That's another 650 chairs. So if you see these folks with the blue shirts and etc., be sure and give them your thanks as well, because I just don't think we thank those folks enough. And I thought it would be remiss of us as a committee not to tell Mike, thank you. They did a fabulous job again last night. And I think the residents, we were packed. The residents show got a great show. So again, thank you. And we'd love to see all of you in January.
Thank you, Mike.
Good morning, members of the board. I'd like to go over some unfinished business from the last meeting, if that would be okay. Jim Westbrook, also the same Jim Westbrook that you heard on the nominating committee for 2023. I'm in Unit 2. As a coincidence, I'm also number 2 on the ballot, so I have that going for me. The question was last week brought up by former director of BCOP, Val Stratton, asked about $80,000 that she thought might be missing from the accounts for operating expenses. It shows 108, and I wonder if we can get a clarification on that 80,000. It was not in balance 055-00.
Well, I wasn't here last month for the meeting. $80,000.
The other four, could you throw some thoughts?
I didn't get your, okay, I would imagine, and this is not confirmed, the comment was that the beginning balances were off $80,000. Is that correct?
The balance on the October report was 108,864, and former Director Stratton thought it should be $80,000 higher. And I did actually find $80,000 in another account.
Yes.
05000. And I believe that 80,000's been there the entire year. I don't think that balance has changed.
No, it should be added to that balance that goes out every month, and it hasn't been. And I understand where you're asking. The money is there, it's in the bank, it's $80,000. It's not put on the beginning balance of the treasurer's report. That's the concern. And
so that 80,000
I'll try to get to
an
the
asset then, is that correct?
Pardon me?
That 80,000 is an asset that we have.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Can I ask where it's being invested? Since it hasn't changed the entire year.
It's in cash, and I don't know the exact bank.
Okay. Wouldn't it be more appropriate, since we haven't used a single dollar of that 80,000 for the entire year, to put it in a CD that at this point, this morning, was paying 4.55 on a 6-month CD?
I understand that. Because I'm not the bookkeeper.
I understand.
That money is cash money that might not be, that might be used for when we need extra money. I just have to check again on that. I have been out of the office, and as some person said, I was not on vacation.
No, I get that, and I understand you're missing that.
So,
and my deepest sympathies for your loss.
Yeah. So that's your answer for your 80,000, and I can find out the bank specifically, but I believe it's on the balance sheet.
Can we look into taking that 80,000, since we haven't spent it in the last year and probably won't spend it in the next year, to put a portion of that into a high-paying CD that's federally guaranteed by the FDIC? My time's up, I see.
Thank you.
Lucille McGuire, Unit 4. It's been a long morning. Nobody else? Okay, I would like you to adjourn this meeting. Why not? Oh, then I'll stop with my comment. I didn't want to prolong it. Okay, clarification. A lady just came up here and said, oh, you mean you would, if you would have voted for that management company, it was a done deal? Or was it open to people questioning later during a meeting, letting them get their answers, and then you would sign the contract, you would have the final word? But that's not what I understood earlier. I understood that you were voting to accept the contract. So which one is it?
I believe that. I believe that originally. I made a motion, Gail seconded the motion, and then I asked for comments from the board, and there were a couple comments, and then I asked for the vote. After the comments were finished, I asked for the vote, and at the time, I think the first time there were 4 hands up, but when I asked for the vote, there were only 2 for and 4 against. So it did not pass.
No, but that's not my question.
If it passed, then we would have had, first of all, the management company come in and meet with the residents. the contract would have been reviewed and it would have been signed and we would have had a management company. But now it's a moot point, Lucy.
No, but this is because the other lady came up and asked her questions. I needed that in my own mind. Was it?
Maybe we need to go to Arlene, who was taking the notes.
And I'm not prolonging this just to talk. I need to know for sure.
Okay, I believe, Lucy, what you're asking, when Mrs. Whetstone, when you came up, right, your question was, the vote was that we were not going to hear from the management company, correct? They voted it down, right? Is that what you were saying?
I'm saying that the vote would have enabled the management company to come in and talk to the...
Okay, the vote would have enabled, right, the vote would have...
Which was voted down.
Which was voted down.
Yes, they would have been enabled to come and talk.
Correct.
The company and then decide if they were going to sign a contract or not.
Okay, but I believe, Lucy, what you were saying was that now the vote was no, so now it's, I'm deep for myself here, so now it's a done deal. We're not going to have a management company come in, right? So just because Mrs. Whetstone, I believe what she was asking was because the vote was no, was that the residents were not going to hear anything, but no, this is a done deal, isn't right? Okay, so if Lucy, is that your question?
Not exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Not exactly, okay.
Okay, listen, I know it's a mute issue now, but it's for people who are going to listen to this tape.
Right.
When they were voting, what I understood before anything else, before people came in to let people talk to them about their management company, if they were to vote and they would say yes, it would have been a completed act.
Right, because if you look on the agenda page, 1 second, I'm sorry. Okay, so the agenda page was, recommendation, discuss the hiring of the property management company based on advisory committee's recommendation. And then the proposed motion to accept the advisory committee report to hire condominium associates to run Brookridge. Okay, so the board voted, and it was 2-4, right? 4 against. So that means the motion to accept the advisory committee's report to hire condominium associates to run Brookridge failed.
Okay.
Okay?
If it would not have failed, I just want to know for
Right.
myself.
If the vote passed, right?
If it passed, no matter what community gathering there was to talk to these people, it was already a done deal.
That is correct. That is correct,
We would have
yes.
had a management
That is
company.
correct, yes.
No matter what.
Right, that was the motion. If the board voted yes, then yes, and a management company would have come in and yes, it would have been a done deal, right?
Right, that's all I needed to know.
Okay,
Thank you.
But it's voted down, so
Right,
it's
yes.
a done
No,
deal
no,
and
that's
it's
fine.
over with,
That's
Lucy.
fine.
It's over with, okay?
For this time.
It's almost 11 o'clock.
One gentleman wants to speak.
This is our last speaker. Okay, Bob?
Okay, your parliamentarian failed you here because when you call for the vote, according to Robert's Rules of Order, the motion on the floor to be voted on should have been stated so that everybody in the room know that this was the question that we were voting on at this time, because there's amendments made and people have different ideas. But to make it clear in everybody's minds, the parliamentarian, when she called the question and had moved for the vote, should have restated the motion that you were voting on so that everybody was clear as to exactly what a yes or no meant. The other thing that I wanted to say is, just because you got voted down, I, as one person, would like to see a representative come and talk to us so we'd have more information so that we could give you feedback on a more intelligent level as to management company. The fact that we didn't want it to be done today doesn't mean that we wouldn't be open to information and having them talk to us about it. But the thing is, I think that a lot of people wanted that opportunity to hear what they had to say. The cart before the horse, as some people are saying in the audience. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Could I have a motion to adjourn? Okay. So moved. We're adjourned at 10:52.